Welcome to the Observe Day podcast, the show where we celebrate the days that matter. From holidays to meaningful observances, we bring you inspiring conversations, stories, and ideas to make each day count. Whether it's raising awareness, learning something new, or simply sparking joy, this is your space to explore the calendar in a whole new way. I'm your host, Wisdom Okonkwo, and I'm excited to share today's observance with you. Let's dive in. Today on Observe Day, as we celebrate the Festival of Learning and Have a Go month, we're exploring the courage it takes to try again after heartbreak and to learn new ways of living. My guest, Irina Shehovsov, is the founder of Reclaim Your Life, a transformational coach, NLP trainer, and best-selling author of The Gift Inside. Through her books, coaching, and podcasts, she helps women over 40 reclaim their identity, heal emotional wounds, and discover happiness from within. Our mission is about wellness, bold dreams, and continuous growth. Perfect for this month of trying, learning, and having a go at life again. Welcome to the podcast, Irina.
Thank you, Wisdom, for having me.
Yeah. This month is all about having a go. Can you share how trying something new, even when you're scared, became part of your own healing journey?
Sure. I think, there is nothing that grows inside the comfort zone. We always have to pass through that discomfort stage, and we'll have imposter syndrome, especially when we're trying something new. If you remember going back to when you were a little kid, how many attempts did it take you for you to learn how to walk? But you didn't give up trying. No matter how many times you fall, still got up and still kept going. Because walking was important to you. You were curious.
Yeah. For me, is the fact when you mentioned the example is I cannot even remember how many times it took me because no one kept count of that because it was important that we just kept on trying.
Because we are more curious about life. We are not setback about the failure, the fact that we fell down. We're not thinking of why am I so bad? Why can't I get this walking thing figured out? We are more curious about exploring the space than we are about the failures. And what happens often in life, we get beaten down by life. And when we experience failures, we are less likely to try something new. And because we don't want to feel embarrassed, we want to feel like we know what we're doing. But I believe it's never too late to learn. Learning is one of my, core goals. Learning it what makes life interesting, and we can never learn enough. We're always on this journey of continuous evolution and growth. And even to this day, I'm learning French on Duolingo, and I'm learning. There is a great program called Elevate on the phone. It's an app, keeps your mind it uses some math skills, some language skills to improve yourself. And when you're learning a foreign language, it allows
you
your
sing,
mind.
right?
And I sing, yes.
Because I remember you sang for me. I'm so sorry. I do a lot of interviews. The moment you just kept talking, and I was like, she sang. I was like, yeah, she was the one. I was like, aha. Wow. I remember you sang a Russian song, and then you did the translation for me. Oh no,
It was Italian.
Yeah, Italian. Yeah, because I remember that you didn't sing, the song you sang wasn't a song that, it wasn't a song of your own language that you know. So we had to go through and look for the translation. But the song was really, what's the word? It was melodic. And I was like, yeah, I still remember. Thank you for that. I know I didn't pay for that performance, but thank you so much.
Sure.
Okay. Yeah. While we're talking about learning something new, I know that when the first time I mentioned that phrase and the question and all that, what was the particular moment that was spotlight for you? That's like, oh, this was a time where I had to learn something new. I had to take a bold step to do something that was really out of my comfort zone.
Guess starting my podcast.
Wow.
Starting a podcast back in 2020 without having a clue what podcasting is, but simply having an idea of speaking to single parents who've been there, done that. I was inspired. I was in a mastermind with Brandon Bouchard, and a fellow masterminder was doing series of interviews with entrepreneurs. And I said, what a great idea. I want to interview single parents who've been there, done that. Meanwhile, I didn't have any idea how to create a podcast. I was just inspired by creating an interview, and I kind of learned along the way, having the thoughts in my mind, who would want to listen to me? I'm not an expert. I'm not how you call it, a media personality, but still doing that, and maybe some seeds in terms of public speaking, because I'm an introvert, a recovering introvert. I did the Toastmasters before that, so
Oh,
maybe that
that's
kind of
that's
laid the
lovely.
foundation of me being able to do the podcasting thing and interviewing people. But yeah, I think Toastmasters is a great way for anybody. It builds confidence. It actually teaches you how to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. So it's a great skill to have, no matter what you do in life, what your profession. It gives you a possibility to, first of all, express how you're feeling, articulate your words, and being able to speak in public. So was a great learning tool. And
Yeah.
then a
Oh,
second time was when I became an author. Who would want to read my books? And I'm writing something. What if my family reads what I wrote? It's embarrassing. Or like, do I want to share that? Essentially, when you write something, you basically open up your mind for everybody to see and judge you. And do you want to be judged? Probably not. And we all I had to overcome that imposter syndrome as well when I was writing my first book in 22. And it's been 3 years, and I've done 7 books since the last 3 years. So it's been an incredible journey. The Gift Inside was book number 6. All the other ones I did were compilations where I contributed a chapter, but the Gift Inside is my whole kind of framework.
first time. Yeah. Wow. You've been doing this podcast for in 2020. That's about 5 years. Wow, that's a long time. You have skin in
Yeah.
the game. Hmm. Hmm. I'm curious, right? You started the podcast to help single parents or single women, right? A lot of women they feel stuck in what I like to call survival mode after a long relationship ends,
Mm-hmm.
right? And for what would you recommend as their very first have a goal step, right? They can, take to start shifting towards joy and living life again. Before we dive deeper, I'd love to invite you to join the Observe Day newsletter. Every week, I send you highlights of upcoming observances, creative ways to celebrate, and behind the scenes extras from the shows. It's the perfect way to stay inspired and never miss a meaningful moment. Sign up today at observeday.com/join. That is observeday.com/join. Now, let's get back to the conversation.
The first simplest thing is to practice gratitude, to notice the things that are working in their life. I know when you're in a dark moment, all you can see is darkness around you, and practicing gratitude could be a first step towards light. Looking at things that are working, simple, trivial things that we take for granted. I used to take walking for granted until I dislocated my knee, and now I'm totally fine and good. But it's been 4 years and hasn't been a day that has gone by when I didn't thank my niece for walking. So every time I go on my morning walk, I say, thank you, niece, for walking. It might sound funny and silly, but we only appreciate things once we lose them. So why wait until you lose something? Start appreciating now for what you have.
So I was asking you about how um you know women, especially when they their heart has been broken, and probably they've lost someone. By when I mean lost someone, not just the person ended the relationship. I'm talking about they lost someone via death, right? And you know it's really hard to get to live life again and actually start taking a go at things and doing what you ought to do rather than just coasting through life. And your recommendation is be grateful, right? Begin to look at the little things and just be thankful for the things that are working, the things that are going well. And
Yeah.
that's a very small steps. And I think it's all about small steps. Thank you for that recommendation.
And about if there is a loss, think of all the good things when you had that person in your life. What were the good memories? And focus on those memories. I believe we all come here, we have a mission, and when our mission is complete, even anybody outside of us cannot understand.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
thinking of a person that has passed, of all the good things, all the good memories that
Yeah.
has taken place.
Okay. I said in your book, The Gift Inside,
Yes.
it's a book that shares powerful mindset shifts, right?
Mhm.
And I'm asking which of those shifts that you shared in the book connects most to continuous learning and growth.
Hobbies. I have a chapter on hobbies. I believe through hobbies we discover a little bit of who we are. Through passions, what make us feel alive. Or sometimes we put a lot of things on hold. We say, I'll do this later. I'll do this tomorrow. I'll do this when
Yeah.
kids grow up. And I believe it's never too late to learn.
Habits. And when you
No,
just
not
said habits,
not habits. Hobbies. HOBBIAS. Hobbies.
oh, I'm so sorry. 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 I thought you said habits. And you would the explanation you gave, right? It fits with habits. So I wasn't really sure. I'm so sorry about that. Okay,
Well, it is.
habits.
It becomes a habit. A hobby becomes a habit if you practice it. If you don't just do it once in a while, but you make a hobby. You know how you wanna have good oral hygiene? You brush your teeth every day. Well, if you wanna be happy, you gotta practice 10 minutes of joy. And by joy, I mean things that set your soul on fire, your passions. So practicing that daily. So for me, it's singing, and I get to learn different songs every time I do. I get to practice different languages. I get to remember the melody. Or if you take painting, for example, you can study what kind of painting you're doing, what kind of mediums do you use, what kind of principles do you use. So you get to rediscover that, and you're always learning or learning languages. You're looking at different ways as well. So
Yeah.
hobbies, chapter number 6 in the book
Okay.
talks about
Hob-
hobbies.
hobbies. Yeah.
Yes.
Wow. I feel like most of the times, especially adults, and once people become quote unquote adults and they start chasing money and all those things, they forget. I won't really say forget, more like they postpone, as you said earlier on, they postpone those things, right? And these are the things that
Yeah, hobby is something you would do even if nobody pays you because it makes you feel good inside.
you said you've written 7 books in 3 years. You went from someone who had no clue about writing a book, and you wrote 7 books in 3 years. You also started your podcast. And what has that experience? Because for write 7 books in 3 years, that's a lot of experimentation. That's a lot of writing, editing, cutting things out, over and over again. What has that taught you about approaching things that you don't have a clue about, haven't stacked this evidence.
I think you need to have a passion for it. So becoming an author was a dream of mine. When I started my journey of reclaiming my life, I used to practice power hour like Tanya Robbins calls, and the first hour of the day. So I would write how I want my life to be, who I want to be, what I want to be doing. And one of the things was I wanted to become an author, a writer. I want to travel the world, speak and sing on stages. And that dream of becoming an author came true. So I was working and doing that, practicing, vocalizing, and imagining what it would feel like in 2015. And in 2022, the dream of becoming an author came true through my podcast, Single Parent Success Stories. Because one of the guests was a publisher and she was a former single mom. She invited me to be part of her book, and the rest was history.
Yeah.
And I completely forgot about this writing thing, but universe remembered, and I was able to have that dream realized.
Yeah. Wow. I'm
And
so
she was a great
happy for you.
mentor. So yes, I didn't know how to write anything, and we always have this imposter syndrome when it comes to writing. Because first of all, English is not my first language. I do not have an English writing degree. I didn't study in college to do that. And we think that our college diploma is our way of like being able to open our voice, like our expertise. But what about a lived experience? We have lived life that's not documented, and we are not just our job, our titles. We are so much more than that. We have so much more experiences and stories. And this is how we connected with one another before written word through stories. And we all have a story to share, but we gotta overcome our own imposter syndrome. Like, who would want to listen to what I have to say?
Yeah.
But if that helped in any way, I think it's the story is worth sharing.
Yeah. In the last time I interviewed you, you sang a song for me. Right now, I'm thinking you should read a paragraph for me from the book. Yeah.
Okay.
uh,
What any specific?
I know that if I ask you to choose, that would be hard. So what I'm just going to do is, I'm just going to pick a number and you read a standalone paragraph from the page.
Okay, tell
Right?
me the number.
Would that go well, or would you just recommend one for me and read it for me? Which would you prefer? I was like, I don't know. Okay, I could pick somewhere that doesn't make that needs a lot of context to make sense. So that's what what I was scared of. Okay, let's go with today is 11 for me. Okay, let's go with
Yeah.
11.
Page 11. Let's
Yeah.
see what's on page 11. Oh, it's the beginning of chapter 2, which is healthy eating.
What do you call chapter 2?
Healthy,
Oh,
yeah,
healthy eating.
healthy eating.
Okay.
Healthy eating. So
Okay.
it's second habit in physical health.
Okay.
So exercise is king, nutrition is queen. Put them together and you've got a kingdom. Jack LaLanne. In this chapter, we explore the profound connection between what we consume and how we feel, not just physically, but emotionally and mentally as well. Food is more than fuel. It's a form of self-care, a daily opportunity to nurture a body, mind, and spirit. When you eat well, you build a strong foundation that supports every other aspect of your well-being. There is a lot that can be said about nutrition. The main point that I want you to glean from this chapter is not to have a diet, these restrictions, but rather to make a lifestyle out of healthy eating.
Wow.
The purpose behind healthy eating is to support you in having a vibrant and vital life full of energy.
Wow. The one that hits me is exercise is king, nutrition is queen. Put that together and you have a kingdom.
Yes,
Wow.
that's not my quote. That's
Yeah,
Jack
but
LaLanne.
the one of yours that I took is the idea is not to have a diet with restrictions, but a lifestyle of healthy eating or healthy habit. Like, thank you for reading
Yeah.
that. I know sometimes I just come up with my crazy things. It's a hard personality to it. The last time, I think you're the only guest that sang a song for me on an episode. I've had guests, comedians crack jokes for me, but nobody has really sang a song for me. Wow. So that you're the only one. Even if someone else sings, you'll be the first. And so I always remember, like, yeah, that lady that sang the song. That's in my head. That's like how I've connected the dots. That lady that sang the song.
Cool.
Thank you, Irina.
Thank you.
You mentioned the book The Gift Inside, and you also mentioned your podcast, right? I know you've been talking about making reference to it, but what's the name of the podcast, and how can we listen to that podcast?
Sure. I actually have two podcasts. So first
Wow.
is Single Parent Success Stories. It's available on all of the podcasting platforms. And the second one is called Reclaim Your Life with Irina. And
Wow.
the second one is about people who had a wake-up call that suddenly changed trajectory of their life for the better. Whether they decided to lose
That's
weight or
exactly
have a
what
new
we'll be talking about.
appreciation for life.
Wow. So if you
Yes.
want to listen to the whole idea of reclaiming your life and having a go at life, go listen to Irina's podcast, Reclaim Your Life, right?
With Irina. Yep.
Oh, Reclaim Your Life with Irina. Wow, thank you so much. It's such a pleasure to chat with you. I'm looking at the time, I'm like, oh, I'm 6 minutes beyond the time. I'm like, I have to end the episode. I'm like, yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah. Do you have a website? Yeah, listeners can
Yes,
go
my
and see
website
everything.
is Irina Shehovsov, just like my name, IRINASHEHOVSOV.com.
Wow. I'll put the link
And I
in the
have a
description.
YouTube channel called
Okay.
Happiness Academy _. That's the interviews are there.
Okay, for the Reclaim Your Life, right?
Both of them. Yes.
Okay. I'll put the links in the description so listeners can click and go directly to the sites. Thank you so much, Ari.
Thank you.
That's it for today's episode of the Observe Day podcast. Thank you for spending your time with us as we explore today's observance. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts and share it with a friend who'd love to celebrate life's special days too. Don't forget to join the newsletter at observeday.com/join for more observance stories, tips, and updates. Until next time, keep finding meaning in every day.